Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, yes. Finally, the Finance Bill 2023 has been passed in Parliament. About 170 MPs did pass the bill, while about 80 members of Parliament, mainly drawn from Azimio, rejected the bill. In our next analysis, we are going to give you some of the names of Azimio leaders who joined hands with Kenya Kwanza and passed the bill. A majority of them being the ones who were spotted at State House some few months ago. In our subsequent analysis, we are going to expose some of the names. In this video, I want us to listen to Githunguri Member of Parliament, Gathoni Wamuchomba, who walked the talk and rejected the bill as she has all along been preaching. Listen to Gathoni before we proceed.
I rise for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people of Kenya. I rise to oppose. For the welfare of the people of Kenya that qualifies them to eat well, eat a meal or 3 meals a day. That is the way to make the welfare of our people better. And for the welfare of the society and the just government of the people, it is our business as a the representative of this house to make sure that our people live happily, improve their welfare, and make them feel they are sovereign according to the Constitution of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, I am elected in Githunguri constituency. My people cannot afford a meal a day. The cost of living is too high. The cost of unga is too high for them to have better welfare. Mr. Speaker, I have gone to my people in Githunguri constituency and they have told me very loudly that the government of Kenya, through the Finance Bill Proposal 2023, it is punitive, it is oppressive, and it is scandalous. We started off with issue of housing. We came up with contribution. We moved from contribution. We made it a levy. We have moved from the levy. Now we are calling it a task. Is that not scandalous? For the welfare and the society and the just government of the people, I, Gathoni Wamuchomba, say no to an oppressive bill. Thank you.
I consider Gathoni Wamuchomba as the only sober leader on the mountain. And I'm saying that because almost all the leaders on the mountain I saw supported that bill. Only Gathoni Wamuchomba was the lone voice rejecting that bill from the mountain. So I consider Gathoni the only sober leader whose loyalty is with the people. All those others, their loyalty are with one individual, William Samoei Ruto. And I'm saying that because it's a fact. The ground rejects this bill. The mountain ground is against this bill. The Kalenjin ground is against this bill. A majority of Kenyans across the country are against this bill. So any leader who supported that bill, that's a leader whose loyalty is not with the people. His or her loyalty is with William Samoei Ruto. And that's a fact, ladies and gentlemen. Before we proceed, I want us also to listen to Kimani Ichung'wa. For her remarks are also going to help in building our analysis. Listen to this.
Honorable Speaker, It is not lost on all of us that we are in an economic crisis in this country. Honorable Speaker, the economic headwinds that we are facing as a country, including the high cost of goods, the high cost of living, a weakening shilling against almost all major foreign currencies, are linked to the residual effects of the post-COVID or the COVID pandemic, and also tied to the disruptions occasioned by the war in Ukraine and Russia, and also the instability within our region, Honorable Speaker, with the influx of refugees coming into our economy and other areas. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, we are in a situation where we are not alone globally. We are part of the global economy, and the rising interest rates in Western democracies like the US have had a ripple effect on our exchange rate and consequently even on the cost of living and the cost of commodities, considering that we have been importing most of our goods, including, Honorable Speaker, food items. Honorable Speaker, it is true that in the last few months, government has had to waive duty on food items to try and bring down the cost of living and make the cost of living more palatable to Kenyans. Honorable Speaker.
Yes. I just don't know how to describe those sentiments by Kimani Ichung'wah. But one thing coming out very clearly, Kenyans can see for themselves the level of deceit among some of these leaders. Kimani Ichung'wah, William Ruto and that team, just some few months ago, they were attacking Uhuru Kenyatta's government, even though they were also part of that government. And they were saying that the high cost of living that Uhuru Kenyatta was trying to actually make better, because we saw Uhuru Kenyatta giving some subsidies to Kenyans, they were attacking Uhuru Kenyatta and saying that the high cost of living had nothing to do with the Ukraine-Russia war and nothing to do completely with the COVID issue. Right now, they have made a U-turn, and they are now claiming that the high cost of living is because of the COVID-19 Russia-Ukraine war. This is not leadership, ladies and gentlemen. This is conmanship. And I just don't understand which language Kenyans understand. It's very clear that Ruto and his team are lying and cheating Kenyans in broad daylight. Why is it that some Kenyans are still listening and believing the likes of William Ruto, Kimani Ichung'wah, and that team? It's clear they're lying to the people. Politics of conmanship. And it's true, any person who still believes and supports this government, that's somebody who should actually be taken for a mental checkup. Something is not just adding up, ladies and gentlemen. This is the worst government Kenyans will ever see. Look at all the governments that have ruled Kenya since independence. Look at the level of deceit, doublespeak, propaganda being exhibited by this government. And I'm seeing a government that is deliberately mistreating Kenyans. And then maybe in their third or fourth year, or in their fifth year, they will relax things, and then some politically naive Kenyans will start worshipping and praising them that this is a government that is performing. The truth of the matter, even if given 100 years, this government will not get it right. Look at the appointments that have been made and necessary positions being created on a daily basis. Individuals with qualifications are not being given jobs. That's not a consideration in this government. As long as you can hero worship Ruto and you come from the right tribe, you qualify for a job in this government. Qualification, professional qualification is not one of the considerations. That's why I believe this is a government that will never get it right. It will be blunder after blunder. And the passage of that bill, Kenyans should now be prepared for very harsh economic times. If it has been hard so far, it will be harder. And that's how I'm seeing a rebellion that will sweep William Ruto out of power, unless something drastically changes, or rather, unless something drastic happens. Kenyans will sweep William Ruto out of power. The cost of living will just be unbearable for Kenyans. Let's meet in our next analysis, where we will expose some of the leaders who supported the finance bill. God bless you. God bless Kenya. To those sending their contributions, channel all your contributions to the number below. God bless you. God bless Kenya.